Quite a bit of royal news doing the rounds today. As I said, later on I'm going to be having a big discussion about the latest polls that came out that showed that William and Kate are, by quite a long way anyway, the most popular royals. Something I think many of us probably knew, but it did make me wonder anyway whether or not King Charles should have broken with convention, abdicated, given us a rather long time of William and Kate. Of course, a lot of people have very strong views against that, but get your views coming in, gbviews@gbnews.uk. Quite a lot of people actually saying, look, absolutely, the royal family did exactly the wrong thing. What we needed was a young king, but I think that's possibly a bit unfair, especially in the run-up to his coronation. But there we are. The polls are the polls, as they say. But in other semi-royal news, we all know that Meghan Markle loves her privacy and just wants to be left alone. So like anyone who wants to keep their head down, she's reportedly signed one of the biggest talent agencies in Hollywood. Now, the Duchess of Sussex is supposedly not interested in going back to acting, just as well really, isn't it? But rather wants to go into television production, brand partnerships, and what's described as overall business building. That is like a job description from the civil service. Now, apparently, making rom-coms is at the top of her priority list because, in her words, everything she and Harry see is through the prism of their love story, which I think is enough to make you choke on your cornflakes in the morning, isn't it? So what do you make of all of that then? Do you think that Meghan Markle is right to go and get a publicist, a massive publicist, to try and boost her popularity? But talking of popularity, the King's popularity ratings are now at their lowest level since our late Queen sadly passed away. Now, more people than ever are thinking that actually it should be King William, not King Charles, that we are allowing to the throne. I'm going to go into the inbox now. Stephen says, look, absolutely, King Charles should have abdicated. The royal family needed a young king with a young family. Why? Because the head of state needs energy to promote a forward-looking modern society. Can I just push back on that a bit, Stephen? Because we are going massive on the coronation. I, for one, absolutely can't wait for it. And I do think that maybe King Charles does bring a lot of experience, doesn't it? He brings in a huge amount of lived experience, and that's soft diplomacy. You can't really teach that. That has to be kind of, cultivated over a long period of time. So where do you stand on that? It's a controversial question, but we will ask it nonetheless. But I am joined now to revert back to the Meghan Markle PR stunts with a PR manager, Jonathan Shallett. Jonathan, thank you very, very much. What do you make of Meghan Markle's decision to appoint a Hollywood megastar PR agent to try to continue to bolster her desperate attempts for privacy?
Well, I think you've actually mispresented the whole story. She hasn't hired a mega PR agency. She's hired one of the biggest. Well, she's hired actually. I'm not a PR agent. I'm a talent agent, and I run one of the biggest talent agents in the UK. And what she's hired is WME, William Morris Endeavour, who are one of the most powerful talent, branding, IP agents in Hollywood. So absolutely, yes, if you're an actor, they can get you acting roles. But if you're a filmmaker like she and Harry now are with Archie roles, she can get productions and opportunities in making films and television dramas and documentaries. She can help with their brand, they can help with her charity. And so she's joined up with the most powerful company in Hollywood to help develop the whole business and corporation that her and Harry are developing. It's actually a very smart move by her because she's now working with an organisation that really knows best in Hollywood. And if you go to Hollywood, they're exactly the kind of company you want to work with.
So they also represent Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Adele, and tennis player Serena Williams. If you were advising Meghan Markle, would you tell her to lay low for a while or not?
I don't think she can lay low for a while because they've got massive bills as a family. The cost of being in Hollywood, the security, the home, the school, everything they need to live a reasonable life is very expensive. And they don't get income from the United Kingdom, they've got to earn the money. I do think, to be fair to them, there are some double standards in Britain against them. On the one hand, they're criticising them for earning money, but on the other hand, they're saying they can't get money from the UK taxpayer. We can't have it both ways, so they can't get money from the UK taxpayer, but they can't earn money because they've got to live. If we're going to not provide them with security, which rightly we're not, because it's very expensive as the UK taxpayer, they've got to pay for their own security. But the kind of security they want, costs millions a year. So I think they seem to be conducting themselves in a way you'd expect to private people.
Do you think that she's potentially quite toxic?
Meghan Markle has officially signed with a major Hollywood talent agency, and it's making waves across both the entertainment industry and royal watch circles. This agency isn't just any boutique shop. It's one of the most elite firms representing A-list actors, producers, and public figures. What does this move signal? A renewed push into mainstream entertainment, and perhaps a redefinition of Meghan's post-royal identity. It marks a shift from documentary-style partnerships to a more structured, professionalized approach to brand building and content creation. From a business perspective, This may be Meghan's smartest move in years. After public stumbles, including the collapse of the Spotify deal and mixed reviews on the Netflix docuseries, aligning with top-tier representation could help reshape how she's perceived.
I think the media representation in the UK and the media representation outside the UK is very different. Indeed, the representation of Meghan and Harry is very different between age groups in England. And I've got that exact example in my family. My wife can't stand Meghan. My daughter adores her, and that's the age difference. My wife's at a certain age. My daughter is early 30s. She and her age group think Meghan's fantastic. My wife's age group thinks she's terrible. In America, they think she's fairly good. They might question perhaps the way she's discussed some of the private elements of the family in interviews, but by and large, she's making headway in a very challenging town. And she's making documentaries, she's got commissions, being in business with Netflix, a fantastic opportunity. WME is a great agency to work with. So I suspect this will enhance her brand and lead to greater success.
It's almost marrying Harry was actually, yeah, isn't it? But that would be the cynic in me. Look, can I just ask you a quick one before I let you get going, Jonathan, if that's all right? Because it throws ahead to a discussion I'm having a bit later on, and it is about the popularity polls of various members of the royal family at the moment. So nearly half of people questioned by an Ipsos poll think that Charles is doing a good job, but that is down from the peak of 61% in the polls. And I just want to know whether or not you think, for the royal family as a brand, for the monarchy really, as an institution, as a brand, do you think there might have been a case to be had that Charles should have stepped aside for William and Kate, young, energetic, popular people with a young family who could have had a very long reign? Do you think that would have done our monarchy better?
I don't actually know. First of all, I think King Charles and Queen Camilla to be are doing an incredibly good job. Secondly, you need experience as well. The relationship that King Charles has around the world with the Commonwealth, with companies, with industrialists, with entrepreneurs.
This is not just about projects. It's about narrative control, industry credibility, and long-term leverage. A major agency brings PR muscle, production connections, and curated opportunities that go beyond celebrity for hire. The timing is key. Public perception around the Sussexes has been increasingly polarized. By signing now, Meghan may be trying to pivot away from the royal exile framing and toward a new identity as a media executive, producer, or lifestyle figure. To some, it looks like a calculated move to recover from reputational damage. To others, it's simply the next natural step for someone with ambition and a media-savvy background. But let's be honest, this isn't a guaranteed success. The public is more skeptical now, and Hollywood, while opportunistic, is also image-conscious.
He has a global set of relationships, very valuable to this country. And yes, William will be an excellent king, but I think William needs to develop those relationships. And I get the impression he probably agrees with that and is happy for his father to do what he's doing. His father's going to go on global tours now as King of England. It'll be great for income to this country. William will also learn. I'd also add that as parents of a young family, it's a full-time job being parents. If William was King of England, he wouldn't be able to give his wife and children the attention needed. I think we should be very grateful to King Charles and Queen Camilla. I think everything points towards them having a fantastic reign. I think they're not clearly going to be the monarchs as long as the Queen, because they haven't started at the Queen's young age, and of course they start older if they haven't got the energy of their son, but equally they've got the experience. And you must remember that many of the issues of today Charles was talking about long before they were fashionable. So actually Charles, for all the flack he got for interfering, was so right in many of the things he said. And I think you'll also find the way he's approached the coronation, with being a meritocracy, bringing people involved who had never had a chance in years gone by, excluding people who automatically thought they had a birthright to be at a coronation.
Yes.
Everything points to him being the kind of king we love. I think he's almost becoming the nation's favourite grandfather. He does seem, and I think people love the way that him and Camilla are so clearly in love. People love the way she clearly handles him, maybe the right word, in the sense that she allows him to be King Charles, but at the same time, behind every great man is a great woman, and she clearly seems to be that. I think we're very fortunate, and I think after, like when Alex Ferguson took over for Manchester United, it was really hard for the managers that took over after him to do well. To follow the brilliance of the Queen is really tricky because she was so successful, Queen. And I think King Charles and Queen Camilla are doing a really good job. And I think next week is going to be an incredible celebration for the country. People will see the coronation and love it, and then we'll have a great reign with Charles.
Well, we all hope so, and I certainly hope after that your knighthood is in the post, because you certainly deserve it. Jonathan, great stuff. Jonathan Shalit there is a talent manager, just initially covering Meghan Markle's latest PR push, and of course the popularity.
Meghan will need to deliver, not just sign. There's also the ongoing debate. Is she building something new, or constantly rebranding to escape criticism? The agency deal might help her reset the optics, but it won't erase public memory. Ultimately, this is a high-risk, high-reward move. If she can align with the right projects and step out of the royal shadow, it may redefine her trajectory. But if it's just another round of high-profile deals with low-impact content, this could be seen as more brand inflation without substance. One thing is clear, Meghan Markle is not done with Hollywood, and Hollywood isn't done with her either.